Hi, I'm Craig, and I am staring directly into the fire.
Hi, I'm Shandi, and not only am I an apostate, I am also a heretic.
Hi, I'm Kylee, and I too am heavily influenced by gravity. And this is Seance with My Siblings, Divination Edition. I'm talking about pendulums today. What is a pendulum, you may ask? A pendulum is a weighted body suspended from a fixed point so that it can swing back and forth under the influence of gravity.
Me. Sorry. I had to.
Historically, pendulums have been used for various things, from timekeeping to seismometers. One of the first known uses of a pendulum was in about AD 100 when a Chinese scientist, Zhang Heng, used it to detect distant earthquakes. The pendulum was also used for divination and dowsing. The Egyptians used the pendulums in religious ceremonies. They believed that the pendulum's motion could reveal divine messages or help in communication from the gods. Similarly, in ancient China, pendulums were used for geomancy, which is coordinating the interactions of people, their living spaces, and the natural environment. This was a process of divination that decodes markings on the ground or the patterns created by tossed handfuls of rocks, soil, or sand. The pendulum was then used to determine the flow of qi, or life energy, and to make decisions regarding burial sites, temple locations, and other important spatial arrangements for feng shui principles. During the Renaissance and the Middle Ages, the pendulum was employed in various spiritual and mystical practices in Europe. It was often used to search for water, minerals, and other natural resources, a practice that continued into modern times. This form of dowsing was sometimes conflated with spiritual rituals, blurring the lines between science and the mystical. I apologize, Mouse is making some mouse noises.
Mouse is a dog.
Oh no. As a divination tool, a pendulum can be used as an amplifier for the energies that flow around us. It can be influenced by your energies or the energies around you, such as those of spirits. You can be the conduit and ask your deeper self and subconscious questions, or you can reach out. Pendulums can connect to your intuition, ask questions of ancestors, spirits, or beings around you, or engage in energetic healing. Pendulums can be made of various materials, including crystals, wood, glass, metal, and more. You can also make your own pendulum at home. So, again, this is a tool that can be free.
Yeah, stuff you have laying around.
Yes. So you can just make sure that you're using an object that has equal weight distribution so that it's not leaning one way or the other because of gravity.
Right. A lot of people will use thread and a sewing needle. And a lot of that they're doing to baby genders,
Yeah, I've got that.
Okay. Gosh dang it. I'm going to keep my mouth shut.
You just want to make... Oh, I just said that. Ooh. You can use keys, rings, paper clips, coins, or other small objects tied to a string, ribbon, or thread. One fun way to use the pendulum became really popular was using a wedding ring.
A wedding ring?
A wedding ring.
A wing?
A wedding ring tied to a string to determine a baby's gender. The tradition calls for the dangling of the ring over the pregnant belly while the parent-to-be lies on their back. The ring's movements are said to determine the baby's gender, with a circular swing indicating a girl and a straight line indicating a boy. This folkloric tradition dates back to the ancient Greeks and Romans, but was repopularized by housewives as a game played at baby showers.
I don't love baby showers, but I love women getting together doing witchy shit.
Hell
And
yeah.
dudes. People.
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah.
People getting
Humans
together.
getting together doing witchy shit.
As with all magical practices in divination, there is no one right way to use a pendulum. You just need to trust yourself and your intuition and set your intention. There are a few guidelines that can help you get started using this divination tool, though. So first of all, you'll need a pendulum. You can buy or make one. I have a tiger's eye pendulum that I really vibe with. You will also need a pendulum board of some sort. This can be a piece of paper with the words yes, no, maybe, and uncertain written on it. Or you can buy one off the internet. Oh, pause.
Or did the door just pop
The
open?
door just
It
popped
sure
open.
did. Yes.
Okay, bye now.
Moved.
Oh.
And I closed it completely when I came in.
Yay. So yeah, you can make your own or you can buy one off the internet. I made my own using Canva and just like printed it out on a piece of paper. They also have like really pretty ones on Etsy if that's something that you're interested in. So step 1, you're going to hold the pendulum by its chain or string between your thumb and forefinger or your middle finger, whatever feels best while you're holding it. Then you're going to go ahead and I also wanted to mention this. So I read that it's a good idea to hold it in your left hand.
Oh, your non-dominant hand or just
So
always your left
your
hand?
left hand
Okay.
because left receives energy and right gives energy.
Okay. Good to know. I didn't know
I
that.
didn't know that.
Yeah. So you'll hold it in your left hand to bring in the energy. Then you're going to want to get in the right mindset and think of your question. So try to get relaxed, clear your mind. You can play like relaxing music or light a candle. Cleanse your space beforehand if you want to, using smoke or sound or your preferred cleansing method. And then you're going to want to hold the pendulum steady. So like you can rest your hand on a table or a solid surface so that you're not like accidentally moving it around as you're using it. And then just minimize body movement. So don't like tap your other hand or like wiggle your toes or anything while you're doing this. And then you're going to want to say hello to your pendulum or welcome it. Then you're going to want to learn the movements of the pendulum. So you can ask your pendulum to show you yes, no, maybe, uncertain, or you can set these motions with your pendulum. So you can say, okay, swing back and forth for yes, swing counterclockwise for maybe. You can set it up that way too. It just depends on like your relationship with your pendulum and what you're doing. After you've set up your way that you're going to determine what the movements mean, then you're going to start asking your questions. So you can ask simple yes or no questions. They can be about divination, healing, personal growth, or various other topics. Oh, I feel like I forgot. Oh, it's a good, when you're starting to like ask the questions and like learn the movements, it's a good idea to also ask questions that you know the answer to determine like if the pendulum is swinging in the way that you want it to.
It's like tuning an instrument.
Yes.
Okay.
So you can say like, am I wearing a blue shirt? And if it swings yes, and you are wearing a blue shirt,
You know that is
in tune.
the pendulum. That's how I say yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
So then you can ask your question. Again, it can be a simple yes or no, and you're going to want to trust your intuition. Pay attention to the pendulum's movements and trust your intuition.
Institution.
One way to keep yourself from like accidentally influencing the question like subconsciously is to not watch the pendulum while you're asking the question. So like look forward or watch a candle or like look somewhere else in the room. Give it a minute to like answer the question and then look and see how the pendulum is swinging.
Okay. I always look at my pendulum.
I feel like one of the hardest things about divination is when you get an answer you don't like or want or wasn't the answer you were hoping for, and then trying to be like rationalizing that answer away.
Yeah.
Like, nope, sorry, doesn't work that way.
Yeah. Yeah. So trust your intuition, and then you can to like get to know the feelings of like answers that like your intuition gives you and that are right. You can start like journaling like this matched up with this when I asked this question, or this felt like this when I asked this question. And then you'll kind of start to get more of a feeling like within yourself
I like that.
at those answers.
Right.
Does that make sense?
So you learn to more trust your gut too.
Yes.
And like that deep feeling of, yes, this is correct.
Yeah, exactly. And then you're going to want to say goodbye to the pendulum and close your session. Store your pendulum carefully, especially if it's made of like glass or crystal or wood that can be like dyed by the sun. Don't leave it in the window or broken. Yeah. And then, make sure you close it. You can re-cleanse your space and you're good to go. Any questions about pendulums?
I feel like pendulums are I'm the least familiar with using those for divination. So I know everybody has like kind of gravitates toward their own thing that they really vibe with. And I feel like pendulums I know the least about and I've used the least. So is that like your go-to?
So tarot is probably my go-to, but pendulums are a close second. With pendulums, I feel like a lot of it is feeling too.
Mm-hmm.
So like, yes, you'll get your answers. Yes, it will swing one way or the other, but you got to like take into consideration your intuition. Like, does this feel like the answer?
Mm-hmm. And maybe if that doesn't feel right, are you asking the right question?
Exactly. Yes. Yeah.
That's a good point.
And once you've like worked with your pendulum, you'll kind of with any sort of divination tool, you'll build a relationship.
Right. And you'll have like how you do it, how you practice it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. And it's really wild. Like sometimes the feelings is like super intense when you're asking a question. You're like, okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like that is the answer.
No.
You can also, there are a couple of different ways that pendulum boards can look. Some of them can just be like a circle that has yes and yes like on one end and then no and no on like opposite ends so that as it swings, it like goes in the direction of the answer. But then they can also be built a little bit like a Ouija board with like numbers and letters, and you can set up different sorts of answers using that type of pendulum board.
It's kind of cool. I like that.
They even sell them on Temu, guys.
They sell them on Temu. Oh,
everything is on Temu.
I would probably rather buy one from Etsy from an independent artisan.
Yes.
Like preferably a fellow practitioner of some sort.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, I literally just made my own and printed it off, and that's what I use.
Oh, look at that one.
Yeah, they have really pretty ones online if that's something that you're interested in.
That's so pretty.
We're looking at one on Etsy that has like a moth with flowers and a crescent moon. It's very pretty.
It is very pretty. So yeah. And again, you can personalize your tools to what works best for you.
Mm-hmm.
Any other questions about the pendulums?
Well, it can be made out of anything, so you kind of want to find a vibe, something that you align with energetically.
Yeah.
Like you said, tiger's eye for you is your favorite.
It is. So I have another one that's obsidian, and it doesn't
hit like the tiger's eye.
We don't vibe quite as well.
And sometimes you'll come across tools, things will come into your life, and then you find someone that needs it and you give it away.
Mm-hmm. Or it worked for you for a time.
Right.
And then it no longer serves you.
And then it finds a new home.
Exactly.
Sometimes they just get lost.
Mm-hmm.
Just disappear.
Yeah.
Like my oldest son bought me a pendulum for Christmas, and I don't know what stone it is made out of, but I'm just not. And then it broke. Mm-hmm. Like I was wearing it as a necklace because you could use it as a pendulum, but also wear it as a necklace, and it just broke. And I was like, oh, guess I'm not wearing this anymore.
Interesting. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It didn't vibe with you.
No.
Yeah.
But it was a gift, and he wanted to see me wearing it.
Yeah.
So it's hard. It's hard to buy stones for other people.
It is. But yeah, you could like mouse.
Hi, mouse.
Silly mouse.
You're so cute. Your little teeny tiny feet.
Yeah. And if you don't have to like force yourself to use things in your practice, even if like you feel like you have to. So like, pendulums sound cool, but you don't like pendulums, you don't have to use it anymore.
Yeah. And some things you don't know until you try.
Exactly.
Yeah. Just like, I was going to mention this a little later, but like, I love tarot cards. I have many decks. I don't work with them hardly ever, but I love having other people read for me.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I have a couple tarot decks, but there's one that I always
is your go-to.
It's my go-to. And it's the very first one that I got. It's just the classic Rider-Waite tarot deck.
That's the one I started with too. But I got a Labyrinth. Like Labyrinth, the movie tarot deck. And I vibe with that one. I love it. I got that for my birthday.
For me.
Yep. I was going to say, it was you or
Yep,
Chantel.
It was me.
So I got quite a few decks that birthday. Kai has good taste.
Aw, shucks. Okay. That's all I have for you guys about pendulums.
So I guess I'll go. So the form of divination I'm going to be talking about today is going to be fire gazing. So I have some notes here and an article that starts with saying, some say humans now have the attention span of a goldfish. About 8 seconds. Though not everyone agrees. And regardless, it seems fair to say that relaxation and focus are two qualities people want more of. Can you quiet your mind and settle your nerves by focusing on a single object, namely a candle? According to the ancient technique of candle gazing meditation, the answer may be yes. So, I often use fire gazing. It was one of the first forms of divination that I kind of really used because it was summertime and we'd have fires, and I'd always just try and see if I would get any information or signs or anything like that. And so within the article, experts and some researchers suggest this candle gazing and meditation can help enhance cognitive function, mental health, and spiritual connectedness. But how does it work? And is staring at a candle flame safe for your eyes? Candle meditation has roots in ancient Indian yoga practices. You can find early mentions of Tritaka in the Hatha Yoga Pradipika, a 15th century Sanskrit manual on yoga. I hope I didn't butcher that. I probably did. But the author of the text instructs the practitioners to be calm and gaze steadily at a small mark till eyes are filled with tears. So I guess just from leaving your eyes open without blinking for so long and focusing, yeah. And they believed it could help cure eye diseases. Garada Samhita, another Sanskrit manual, similarly described the practice as a group of researchers who studied the effects of yogic visual concentration on cognitive performance. In 2016, noted the Hatha Yoga Pradipika lists some of these purifying properties from doing this practice in the preparation of body and mind for yoga, breath regulation, meditation, spiritual states. Flame gazing also appears in Ayurvedic practices. Ayurvedic describes these fundamental combinations of the fire element known as doshas. These doshas govern a person's physical and mental health, according to Pierre Couvillon, I believe, the founder and director of Santasha School, a yoga and Ayurvedic wellness center and school in Indianapolis. The doshas are Veda, space and air. This dosha governs movement, its essential composition in prana, vital energy or movement, pitta, fire and water. This dosha governs transformation, its essential component is called tejas, vital spark or discernment. Kapha, which is water and earth, this dosha creates structure and lubrication. Its essential component is called ojas, vital essence or nectar of life. I also learned a little bit about the doshas and Ayurvedic practices in massage school because, obviously, as one does in massage school. But the dosha of fire and the element helps with focus and cognitive. Couvillon says it's related to the gray matter of the brain and the ability to process. So that's kind of like why some people fire gaze,
So it helps them process
because
information.
it helps them like process that information and kind of have like a clear mind.
Okay.
Makes sense because you're
Mhm.
focusing intention onto something you can see.
Yeah, like a type
Yeah.
of meditation.
Yeah. Okay. I have a question now.
Yes.
How woo-woo does massage school get?
Not super woo. It might have been Aveda Institute that
Mhm.
brought in some of that
Some of the woo-woo.
Ayurvedic and chakra energy work
I
practices.
can see them doing that, yeah.
As well as like aromatherapy, which obviously is helpful with
Mhm.
like lavender if you're trying to get like a more relaxed,
Sure.
But there's like science behind like the
There-
smell and the
right,
yeah.
exactly. So I guess that's not necessarily
Yeah.
like
But
woo.
people would say it's woo-woo.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
like people who don't want to believe in anything outside
Or
of
like
what they
essential
can
oils.
see. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. But it didn't get obviously all that much focused on the woo side. It was more so on like the physical health of the
Mhm.
person and like helping their bodies.
I mean, probably that's a good thing.
Yeah, it's not just like, which it can be helpful, like a chakra session of like aligning the chakras or like energy work, like stuff like
Mhm.
that. Obviously, like I've had a Reiki session before, and I feel like it helped me even though there was no physical contact.
Right.
So it's like that preference, I guess,
hmm
of like what you're wanting from like a practitioner, I guess.
I like the no physical contact thing.
Mhm.
That makes me happy.
Yeah. It was way cool. But yeah. So also here, fire scrying, also referred to as pyromancy, is an ancient method of scrying that dates back to the 7th century BC and has been practiced in many cultures around the world. And fire scrying and fire divination are different. Fire scrying is looking for images in the fire, which is a lot of the time what I would do when I would be like fire scrying. I called it fire gazing earlier, but same
You can call it
thing.
what you
yeah,
want.
fire scrying. And it's like looking for the image in the fire, and the divination is interpreted within the movements and shapes of the flame. And fire divination doesn't require. Fire divination doesn't require psychic abilities. Like, if you're trying to, like, get that image, you don't have to, like, be
Mhm.
psychic to, like, perceive what the flame is, like, telling you, I guess.
Right. I feel like that is the coolest part about divination tools is anyone can use them.
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly.
You don't have to have a hugely developed psychic or No, you don't need any of the clairs. You
Mhm.
don't need to be a medium. Anybody can use these tools. It's about intention.
Exactly.
Right? And following your intuition, which we all have. We all have
Mhm.
that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that is all I have on fire gazing. I did go off on a little bit of a tangent on the doshas, but
So
still,
it's connected.
it is connected.
So what does it look like when you get an answer when you're fire gazing?
So, from my experiences, you can have that intention in mind,
Mm-hmm.
and that you can have a question, or you can just kind of say, like, show me, kind of as if you're using another form of divination, like tarot cards. Like, it'll just have an answer, or you'll pick up an image in the flame,
Mm-hmm.
I guess,
So like
would
you're
be the
seeing
best way.
The flames is what gives you the images.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Or I was gonna say if you have your like eyes closed, but that doesn't necessarily work. That's like a different form. But just like seeing the images, or like you'll get an image pop in your head, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
is another thing. Mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
Just,
like
like, while
inspired
staring.
by staring at the fire.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, because like you are
Or, like,
more
a
in
thought
tune with
process,
yourself.
or-
If you're gazing at something calming
Yeah.
and transformative like fire,
Mhm.
that makes sense that like
You'll
your
have a
mind
cleared
would
head.
clear. Yeah.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Your mind would clear and answers would become more clear to you.
Yes, exactly. And I think that's kind of the whole point from what I found in like that specific article was just like being able to clear your head and like having that clear
Right.
thought
And then you're like
process.
open to
and open to accepting
Yeah.
the messages. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
I want to try that. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
It's really fun.
I've read, like, this is like, I guess, a sister to fire gazing, but it has to do with like the cracking of the embers having their own specific meanings. So while you're fire gazing, you can get like that, the images and stuff from the fire. But if you ask like yes or no questions and you get like one crack, it's yes, I can't remember which is
Oh,
which.
like popping?
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And it just goes along.
Oh,
that.
that is cool.
That is cool.
Do you remember that one fire we had? Not this most recent one, but the one before that. And it kept cracking and like coming out at me,
Yes.
specifically chasing me.
It wanted to burn you down.
I know. I was like, what's this about? Anyway, that's
Yeah.
all I got. I don't know. That was weird. If anybody has any answers, let us know. Why was the fire chasing me?
Why did the fire target Shandi?
Why did the pups try and get you?
Yeah, because that's never happened before
Oh, interesting.
or since.
It must have been some sort of message.
Or
Has anything happened that you might have been like, oh, or yeah.
No, because maybe I wasn't thinking about it that way.
Yeah,
So I haven't been
like looking for it. Yeah,
Or no.
that makes sense.
paying enough attention. I don't know. But maybe now it will come forward.
Maybe.
I don't know. Okay. It is my turn. And I am talking about oracle cards. And oracle cards are different from tarot cards in that they are not as hard to learn. They're very beginner friendly. And I use them very differently than I would use tarot cards. Like if I want a tarot reading, like I like to get a tarot reading around the time of my birthday because my birthday is at the end of the calendar year. And I like a tarot reading for an overall of the upcoming year, right?
Right.
Oh.
But if I'm using oracle cards, it's more of, hey, what is the best thing to do? Or what do I need to know about this situation that I'm in to have the best outcome? Or I use them in my practice as what I do for work when I have a client coming in and maybe I'm not sure what they need that day. I'm not sure how I can help or what I can do to give them some clarity or whatever they're needing. So I'll ask the deck, what do I need to know about this person today to help them the best way I can?
Okay.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So oracle cards, like my favorite deck and the deck I've had for years is Wisdom of the Oracle Divination Cards by Colette Baron Reed. She's excellent. She has a really fun YouTube channel too.
Okay.
So, and she does tarot and oracle. And most people that read tarot also use oracle cards too, because these are great for like simple questions. And you can do a 1-card reading, a 2-card reading, or a 3-card reading. I usually do a 2-card reading because it can clarify.
Okay.
So, like one time I was having some life stuff happening and I didn't know if it was time to act or if it was time to just keep going. And I asked the oracle cards and I drew the card for chopping wood, which means just keep going, keep doing what you're doing, keep putting in the work, but like just stay the course, basically, is that meaning. Like don't make any huge changes, don't burn your life down, keep doing what you're doing for now.
Okay.
Like it's not the time for action yet,
Okay.
which it wasn't. And so it was just nice, like, to be validated and have a confirmation, because sometimes no one can give you that, but like the universe.
Yeah.
No other person can tell you what to do or the right time. Like it's just not their place to say. Only you can make that decision. Yeah. Let's see. I can't remember the specific cards, but I've used it before a session with a client. And they'll say something and I'll just start laughing because this is a client who is also witchy and they want, like, I'll draw cards in sessions sometimes for certain clients that want that and are open. But for the majority of people, I would never do
Yeah.
that.
Right.
Never, ever, ever in a million years would I be like, I drew this card before our session. How funny. No, but they said something and I was like, oh, holy shit. Guess what 2 cards I pulled before we talked today? And then I told them and then that helped them.
That's
That's
so
pretty cool.
It
Yeah.
was
So cool.
But I mean, obviously it's it's a person who has always been open to that. And, you know, they're a fellow witchy person also.
That's way cool.
Yes. So tarot and other forms of cartomancy, like oracle cards, have been around for forever. For as long as playing cards have existed, people have used cards as a form of divination. That's why a lot of, I don't know if this is still true, Christians weigh in on this, I don't know, but there was a time where a lot of Christian organizations, religions, whatever you want to call it, didn't allow members to play with face cards because they were afraid people would start using them to divine the future, which is seen as a big scary no-no. Because, like, where are you getting these answers from? It's the devil.
Yep.
Not really,
That
though.
is the devil.
No. But I feel like my cards have an energy of their own. And it's not, that's why you don't have to be psychic or clairvoyant or anything to use these. It's all about energy and intentions. And it's really, I believe, the universe or your higher self helping you get these answers. Like, you're tuning into your higher self, which means like the self that sees and knows more than our poor little brain that is our everyday self can
Our
see
little
and know.
Meat suit self.
Yeah, our meat suit self. But when we can connect with that higher self, that universal energy from the universe. Don't drink every time I say universe, you throw up. Yeah. And so there is a person named Marie Anne, oh gosh, it's French, Lenormand. In English, with my dumb American mouth, I would say Marie Anne Lenormand. So, but this woman had created her own custom deck of oracle cards, and they are on display still to this day in the museum. I thought I had it right here. I don't know. A museum in England. They are on display. But she was famous, like, worldwide. She was the psychic, I guess, for lack of a better word. She would tell the fortunes for the Empress Josephine, who was the wife of Napoleon Bonaparte, and the Tsar Alexander I of Russia. And she is credited with the beginning of these specific cards that have like pictures that mean specific things. So that is where they got their start. And I love this when these cards were being more like mass produced and people were playing them in their own homes. It was called the Game of Hope.
Ooh.
Oh, I like
I
that.
love that. I know, because usually when we are consulting a divination tool, it's because we need answers. And usually when we need answers, we need a little bit of hope, or we need some real talk. We need
Slap
some
in the
reality.
face.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Like when I get crazy and want to burn my whole life down, I need something to be like, girl, no, nope, it's time to chop wood. Keep chopping that wood.
I wasn't going to do it. I was just thinking.
I wasn't
about
gonna
it.
just like run away, like sell everything and become a van lifer. No, I wouldn't do that. It's crazy.
Crazy girl.
I wasn't gonna just quit my job and sell dolls on the internet.
No way, Jose.
Wow.
If I want to live in a cardboard box
Yeah.
in your backyard, I guess I could do that. Can I move my box behind your trailer?
You sure can.
Thanks. Mom and Dad will love that.
They will love it
No,
so much.
absolutely love it.
Let's see. And I found a fun website from a person who is a medium. Her name is Cheryl Wagner. But she just kind of talks about some of the differences between oracle cards and tarot cards. Oh, excuse me. I feel like I have to burp. So tarot typically has 78 cards. They have the major arcana and the minor arcana. Oracle cards don't have anything like that. Like some of the cards in my favorite deck are, well, I'll just go. So they have the yin and yang cards, which are
Ooh.
opposites, the between worlds card, higher power card, the orphaned card, the not for you card. I draw that one a lot.
Oh.
So yeah. And just it's imagery, pictures with meanings. And in this particular deck, it has an essential meaning, the oracle's message, a relationship message, and a protection message. So it kind of can get into the more specifics of what you're asking and why. Like if I'm asking something about a relationship, I will do the main message and then like the essential meaning and then the relationship message to get my answer. And sometimes the protection message too, because some relationships are not good and you need that protection message as well.
Okay.
Like say you are having a weird thing going on at work with a boss or a coworker and you're like, I need some clarification. I'm not sure how to proceed. Yeah. So I was wondering today if we wanted to do like to wrap up a little live demonstration with the oracle.
Do it.
That's a good idea.
I don't know if you two have a question you want to ask or if you want me to pull a card for, like we can each take a turn.
Should we do a general for the
Yeah, like
listeners?
general
And if it
for-
resonates, take it with you.
Okay.
And if it doesn't, leave it.
Okay. So here's what I do. I kind of just shuffle and I think I focus really hard on the question. So the question I want to ask for everyone out there today, I'm going to focus on what do we need to know to have a good month in this upcoming month of July. We're recording this at the last day of June. What do we need to know as a collective group of people to have the best month, like moving forward? And I just focus and I kind of get a feeling in my fingertips.
Call me too.
I know, it's wild.
It's like a, yeah.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
just know.
Tingling, yeah.
Mhm.
So I'm going to shut my mouth hole and just focus. Okay, here we go. So we got breathe and happy, happy. Oh, I've never pulled that card. I've pulled breathe quite a few times. So breathe card is number 29 in this deck. And once you get really familiar with your deck, you'll have cards you pull all the time. So you'll already know. You don't have to look anything up. You'll just go, okay, all right, I surrender. But, oh, shoot.
It was like 109.
Yeah, thank you. Okay. So the breathe card, the essential meaning is patience, waiting, going slowly, wellness, meditation, and trust. The oracle's message is patience in all things is called for right now. What you need to do when you're not in a rush. Oh, what do you need to do when you're not in a rush? Slow down, of course. Meditate and trust. Breathe and repeat. Humans cannot exist without drawing breath. Now is the time to allow the life-giving element of air to replenish your body, your being, and your very essence. Stop to smell the roses. Breathe in the sunlight. Release the darkness, and miracles will happen. And so the second card I pulled is like a clarifying card. I wish you guys could see this. It's a beautiful woman with beautiful, like iridescent light wings. Like they're
like moth wings, like the little.
Yes, and they're like ethereal.
Mm-hmm.
And she's sitting on an egg. It looks like a bluebird or a robin's egg blue with a smiling, happy face in it. That's like just kind of an impression. It's not like a super defined face. And then she has beautiful pink and blue and white and yellow light with starbursts like coming up from her. It looks like it might be her crown chakra, but it could just be behind her, like her root chakra coming. It's emanating from her.
Yes.
And it says happy, happy, and it's number 26. And again, this deck is the Wisdom of the Oracle from Colette Baron Reed. And this is like my all-time favorite deck. So 26, boop, boop, boop. 97. Oh, these are pretty close together too. That's so funny. Okay. Essential meaning: joy and contentment, a sense of fulfillment, a feeling that all is well. The oracle's message is your desires are effortlessly fulfilled now. Find joy in the present moment, whatever is happening, and be satisfied with things as they are. You're free from the shackles of longing. Yes. My fingers don't want to work. Okay, you're free from the shackles of longing and able to experience the liberation that comes from actually being happy, moment to moment, for you have chosen happiness over yearnings for it. Now is the time for feeling joy for the sake of joy and experiencing contentment. None of this is because of something outside of yourself. Your happiness is a result of your being at one with Spirit's plan for your life. All is well. The tide is in for now. Enjoy playfully splashing in it. So I feel like these work together because sometimes we have to ground ourselves and breathe and be present in the moment to realize, oh, everything really is okay. Like nothing is on fire. My life isn't burning down around me. And even if it is, in this moment, I'm fine. I am okay. I can put some of the hard things out of my mind for now and enjoy the present moment.
Yeah.
I really like that.
I like that too.
So
Yeah.
I just feel like oracle cards can just help us find wisdom, and there's not any necessarily bad or negative cards in an oracle deck. It might give us an answer we don't want to hear, but that we need to hear that no one else can give to us. And that's why I think they're awesome. And they're very different from tarot because this was not a long reading. And it's not super like, here is what your year will look like, or here is what your month will look like, or here is how your marriage will play out, or here are some things that could happen. It's more like clarification, validation, and advice for the best outcome possible.
Okay.
I like that.
I like that too.
Yeah. And that's how I use them.
And are these, so like tarot cards have like their own meaning, but
Yes.
sometimes you can like get meaning from the card that's just kind of like sits with your intuition. Can you do that with the oracle cards as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Especially the more familiar you get, you'll pull a card and you'll be like, okay, I already know. I don't even need to read. I already know.
Okay.
And then other times you'll pull a card and you're like, oh, I have never pulled this card for myself before. Wild. And like for as many years as I have had this deck, I have not pulled all the cards.
That's wild.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't need to hear those messages.
Right. Or the people I was reading for.
Right.
Or yeah. Yeah. It's wild.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah,
Thank you guys.
that's all I got.
Awesome. Well, thanks for listening, everybody.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you for coming to the seance, guys.
Yes. Please come back.
Please.
Yes,
We have socials.
we sure do. We have an Instagram. Our Instagram is at Seance with My Siblings.
We have a TikTok, also at Seance with My Siblings.
And we have a Gmail for you to send things to us.
Yes.
We want to hear all of your things.
Please.
No, only hot dick pics. Just kidding. No dick pics. All right. No nudes. No nudes. Just scary stories.
just scary stories or supernatural stories.
Or spooky true crimes.
Mysterious happenings.
Yeah, weird things.
the time you lost time.
Yeah.
Mm,
Anything odd. Anything intriguing and odd.
Yep.
That you
And
would
you
like
can
to
send
share.
those to
Seance with my siblings.
at gmail.com.
Yeah. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, guys.
Bye-bye now.
Bye.
Come back real soon, you hear?
Goodbye. Goodbye now.
Goodbye.
Hurry back.
Hurry back.
Can you say that?
I don't think so. Disney, no.
Disney, no.
Please, I'm sorry.
I take
Oh,
it
God,
back.
the mouse.
No.